Does the opposition believe it can successfully move a vote of no confidence? And if it does that mean that by the end of tonight we might have another Prime Minister in Tony Abbott?
Look, I think all of that is unlikely, Tony. Well, no one's quite clear about what's going to happen today because, once again, under this government we're in uncharted waters, but what is plainly clear is that we've got to have an election. This is the last scheduled sitting day of the Parliament. I think the Australian people have had enough, and the one thing Julia Gillard did right in the last few months was call an election for the 14th of September, and I think the Australian people should be in the business of determining who the Prime Minister is, not a few apparatchiks in the Labor Party.
Oh, well, rather than the crystal ball, I'll just simplify it then, Joe. And basically, will a vote of no confidence be moved today by Tony Abbott?
I don't think he will, because the independents have already said that they'll provide support to Kevin Rudd to form a government, and therefore it would be a waste of time. But Kevin Rudd now needs to call an election. It's quite obvious. I mean, as we speak, we have no Treasurer in Australia, no Minister for Education. In fact, a third of the Cabinet has resigned.
Yeah.
And it feels like Groundhog Day, to be honest, that Bill Murray movie, you know. It feels like it's just all happening again. Meanwhile, consumer confidence is down, business confidence is down, and I think what we're crying out for is a bit of stability.
So were you surprised at the events of yesterday?
Well, I mean, there's been so much smoke around the Labor leadership for so long. This is something like the fifth leadership battle in the Labor Party in 6 years. So,
and they're in power. That's a surprising thing.
Yeah, that's right. But it reflects on the whole country. There were some reported extraordinary words from the president of Indonesia this morning, saying that effectively he was very surprised at events that have unfolded in Australia overnight. I mean, the whole world's looking at us going, what's going on? And I think the Australian people are looking at Canberra saying, what the hell is going on? And from our perspective, Tony Abbott, myself and the team are determined to bring back stability, predictability in government, and to try and address some of the challenges of the higher cost of living.
Now that, the former Prime Minister, Julia Gillard, has moved on, Joe, just on reflection, I know it's a quick one of 12 hours ago, but what do you think she actually did get right?
Well, it is very difficult to manage a hung parliament. I accept that. And she did successfully, from her perspective, negotiate a deal with the independents, which, from their perspective, ensured that they had stability in the parliament. But I think her intentions in a number of areas were very good. I think one area that she did get right was her commitment to address disability and support for carers with a national disability insurance scheme. I think that's been right. But it's so often the case that there are good intentions but poor performance, and therefore people are left wondering what it was all about. And I think the great challenge has been with Labor is that whilst they may have good intentions in a number of areas, like a good intention to get the budget back to surplus, that's good, but they just don't know how to do it. And the problem is they don't know how to govern at the moment, and I think that's adding to the instability.
From your point of view now, campaign strategy, will it be an aggressive campaign? We don't know when the election will be. Do you take it on head on, or do you just stand in the goal square waiting for the ball to be kicked to you?
No. You never wait for. You've always got to contest for the ball, and even I understand that about AFL, but. The most important thing is we just continue on our path of offering stability, about getting rid of the higher costs in people's everyday lives, like the carbon tax impact on people's budgets, family budgets. Stopping the boats, that's part of our platform, and Kevin opened the door for them, and now he's going to claim he can stop them. I mean, that's kind of bizarre, but. From our perspective, it's about stability and predictability. We want to give Australian people the chance to get rid of the government, and the chance to have a stable government.
Joe, it was a crazy day yesterday. Who knows what lies ahead of us today? I'll be
Who
looking
knows,
forward
guys?
to it. Yeah.
I hope for the sake of the country this is resolved. I really do. I think it sends a terrible message to the world, but it also sends a terrible message to Australians that when you have instability in Canberra, it's something that we haven't seen for many years, and I hope we don't see it again.
Talking Melbourne.